This year, I decided I wanted to bake my own birthday cake. I've been really into baking and cooking recently, especially sourdough bread. Me wanting to incorporate my sourdough because I love it, I decided to make a sourdough chocolate cake for my birthday. I know, okay, a little weird. I found this recipe online. I kind of modified it a little bit to my liking, and we're gonna make it today. This cake that we're doing is a vintage style looking cake. This is the inspiration picture of how I'm gonna decorate it later. With my chocolate cake this year, I also wanted to do a vanilla mascarpone filling and a vanilla buttercream, so I figured a chocolate and vanilla cake will just give it a nice good mix. I am gonna be using a stand mixer today. You can do it by hand. I'm lazy, so I'm using a stand mixer. We're gonna start off with the wet ingredients first. We're gonna do 2 eggs, and then we're also gonna do 1 egg yolk, 140 grams of melted butter. In the original recipe, it said to use a neutral oil, but I'm not a big fan of seed oils and things like that. I'm on a big kick right now with that, so I chose to do melted butter. And then we're gonna do 80 grams of sourdough discard. Discard is really good to use. It's gonna add hydration and make the cake more tender. Now we're also gonna add 80 grams of sour cream. The sour cream aspect was really strange to me because I'm like, I've never seen a cake recipe with sour cream added into it. I did a little digging, and apparently sour cream adds to the texture and richness that a classic chocolate cake has. After sour cream, we're gonna do 240 milliliters of buttermilk. This boy's thick. It sounds so gross. I forgot vanilla extract, so while that's mixing, we're gonna open up this vanilla extract real quick. I started all of a sudden getting into baking. That didn't really happen until I met my boyfriend. I think I just wanted to start baking for him so that he gets so fat he can't run away, he'll have to roll away. We're gonna do 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we just gotta let that mixy. So while that's being mixed, in a separate bowl, we're gonna add in our dry ingredients and slowly incorporate that into that being mixed. Bring back out our scale. We're gonna do 225 grams of all-purpose flour. We're gonna shut that real quick. We're gonna do 330 grams of sugar. That's a lot of goddamn sugar. Holy crap. No wonder Americans are fat. I don't eat cake that often. I eat a lot of cookies though. There's more sugar than flour. I feel like this is pure sugar. There's no flour left in here. Okay. And now we're gonna do 75 grams of unsweetened cocoa powder. Has anybody ever just eaten like a tablespoon of cocoa powder when they were a kid because they loved chocolate so much and they thought cocoa powder actually tasted like chocolate? Because I did. Now we're gonna do baking soda and baking powder. I did not realize the difference between baking soda and baking powder for the longest time. Here's a little trick that I found out. Baking soda spreads. So baking soda is really used in a lot of cookies because it'll help spread them. We're gonna do 2.5 teaspoons of baking soda. So 1 teaspoon, 1, 2.5. Boop. And then baking powder, just think of powder. If you've ever gone snowboarding, how people always say fresh powder on the mountain. It's really fluffy and it's just a great time to go down on that. Powder means fluffy, so it's gonna make everything nice and fluffy and big. We're doing 1 1/4 teaspoons. And we're doing 1 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I know that's a little weird. Most people are like, salt, why are you adding salt into things? Salt actually helps with the baking process. I did not realize that. It helps keep kind of the gluten structure intact. And I gotta brew my coffee. For hot coffee, it says to use 300 milliliters. I have these, and they're 230 milliliters, so I'm just gonna do 1.5 of these. I'm gonna whisk this up, just so it's all mixed in, and then I'm gonna slowly mix everything into that mixture. Cocoa powder kind of chunks up together, so I'm gonna break all the chunks up. We're gonna slowly, we're just gonna put it all in. In you go. And we're just gonna let it do its thing. Lock that. That looks good. Here's our beautiful chocolate cake so far. We have our coffee, and it is gonna be more of a thinner batter because it is a cake. It was looking more like brownies earlier. While this is mixing, don't be like me, preheat your oven. We're gonna preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Is anybody else just pretty damn good chocolate cake? And I'm not double dipping, so don't come after me. I wanted to do a vintage style 3-tier cake, so we have 3 cake pans. We are going to be prepping and spraying. You want to make sure you line the bottoms with parchment paper and then spray it with some avocado oil or any spray oil just to make sure that the sides don't stick. Spray it good. Since we're doing 3 layers to ensure everything bakes nice and evenly, we're gonna measure the batter. And I Googled it with ChatGPT, like I put in the recipe and everything, and it said do 700 grams of cake batter in each pan. I'm gonna spray it. I have my 4th wing girlies out there. We're making Decadent a cake. This smells so good. In we go. Woo. ChatGPT lied. Turn of events, there's not gonna be enough for a 3rd layer. We're just gonna add this into the pans because I trusted AI to do math for me. We're gonna tap out those air bubbles. We're gonna put this in the oven for 20 minutes. If you're not familiar with how you know your cake is done, take a toothpick, stick it all the way through to your cake. This has been in the oven for about 28 minutes. If it still has residue on the toothpick, you need to leave it in for a couple more minutes. We got cake! I let these chill in the pan for about 10, maybe 20 minutes to cool down. We got a cutting board so it's easier to cut the cakes with the leveler. And we're just gonna cut this top part off. It's kind of like a little saw. Before we decorate these, I was advised that frozen cakes are easier to decorate because it's just solid. Right now they're very spongy, they're gonna absorb everything, they're still a little bit warm, and they're very fragile. I wanna put these in the freezer, but to keep them moist, especially because they're chocolate, we're gonna put a simple syrup on it. Now I just made my own simple syrup using water, sugar, and vanilla. So we're gonna take our simple syrup mixture. I do not have one of those little baster brushes, I just realized. So we're gonna slowly add this onto our cakes, not drenching them. I'm slowly realizing how much equipment you need as a baker. To store everything into the freezer, we are gonna be wrapping it in this plastic wrap. You can put them into the freezer for about 30 minutes and then we'll start decorating. This is the step that's gonna either make or break our cake. We're gonna do a filling and decorating. So for the filling, I wanted to do a vanilla mascarpone filling. We're gonna change to our whisk attachment. We're gonna start out with 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. We are gonna find out. I have no idea what mascarpone even is. I have no idea what it tastes like. Oh, 8.9. Okay, we're gonna take some of that out. Oh, I got scared for a second. I didn't think about weighing it before I bought it. What does this taste like? It's very light. It doesn't really taste like anything. If you've ever had brie cheese, it tastes more like a subtle brie cheese. We're gonna beat the cheese. We're gonna beat the cheese. We're gonna beat the cheese until it gets nice and smooth. That's how we want our cheese to look, nice and smooth. Sadly, this recipe did use cups. It didn't use grams, so I'm gonna have more dishes to do today. Now we're gonna add in our powdered sugar, vanilla, and a little bit of salt. It says a pinch of salt, 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. This was so hard to find because I had no idea what I was really looking for. And then as that's mixing, we're gonna slowly incorporate 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. We're gonna add a little bit more because it says mix until medium peaks are formed. Here's how you're gonna know when your whipping cream is done. So when you lift the whisk out of the bowl, see that little peak all the way down there? That's how you know when it's done, if it lifts up like that. All right, because I wanna use this to make buttercream as well, I'm gonna shift this into this bowl. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge and let's get started on buttercream. I had ChatGPT convert the cups into grams. Let's see if it's accurate because there was no way I was gonna measure 3 cups of softened butter. It's telling me to use 681 grams of butter. We're frosting a lot with this. There's gonna be a lot. So let's hope I have enough butter. We have 300 grams of butter. So we're gonna make half of this recipe. I used all my butter. Shit. We're gonna start with creaming this butter first and slowly adding in powdered sugar. The original recipe said to use 8 to 9 cups of powdered sugar, but since we only have half of our butter, we're gonna do like 4 to 5 cups. Whoa, butter's coming out. Oops. I'm gonna start adding in 1 cup of powdered sugar. And then with this one, we're also gonna do a little bit of vanilla and a pinch of salt. Okay, chunk out all the butter again. Get out! I'm gonna put more powdered sugar and let it rip. Mix. Oh yeah, I like this consistency. Fun part. Now we're gonna actually get to designing our cakes. It's getting real. Okay, so to hold the cake onto the board, you're gonna take some buttercream and you're gonna put some down on the bottom. Pat that first cake layer down so it doesn't move. Grab our delicious whipped cream filling, and I'm just gonna start piling this on. This is so much fun to spin this. Oh my God, this looks so good. Now the first layer of our buttercream, what we're gonna do, it's called a crumb coat. And what a crumb coat is, it's just gonna solidify everything to make sure no crumbs come off into our buttercream. So this is gonna be a really thin layer and it's not gonna be the most pretty. Okay, but to all the bakers out there, what do I do with this? Do I eat it? We're gonna stick this in the freezer for a little bit, just so that coat hardens. And we're gonna make some more buttercream. You know what time it is? It's decorating time! This is the inspiration that I wanted to do for my birthday cake. I'm really into astrology, so I thought this would just be a really cute cake to do. And I've been obsessed with all these bright colors recently. So I have all of my colors made. We're gonna start with the yellow buttercream, and we're just gonna put this yellow buttercream all around. And for the marble, we're just gonna squiggle all of this around. So this is gonna be the primary color. I forgot, twist this so frosting doesn't get everywhere. And then we're gonna do some purple. This is really fun. And then orange. So once we got all those squiggles, I was told, take your scraper and just start going across it. It looks like rainbow sherbet. Okay, is it gonna look exactly like the picture? No. And we'll just keep spinning and scraping and spinning and scraping until it kind of looks like it's coming together. I am so sorry. While recording and finishing decorating my cake, my phone ran out of storage. I'm so sorry you guys couldn't be with me on that process. I'm so sorry, but we got it all figured out. I just used a regular star tip thing and I just went, my grip hurt. Sadly, during the final parts of me recording, my phone ran out of storage, so I couldn't get the last parts of me actually decorated in the cake, but here's how everything looked in the end, and everybody loved it. I had such an amazing birthday. I got a lot of compliments back on it, how it wasn't too overly sweet. They loved that the cake was moist and dense. If you enjoyed this little baking adventure with me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also comment down below if you want more recipes, or if you want me to show you how to make something like more sourdough discards, or just a regular sourdough loaf. I would love to help you guys and share my knowledge of what I've learned through over this past year. And I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time with another video. Mwah!